Hey folks, Wolf Driver coming at you live. Sorry, tried to do a live broadcast, didn't quite work out. The camera equipment wasn't working. In any case, Jag! Come on, good boy! Jag, no! Oh.
We're still playing with these cows.
With these goats. So the boys are getting tested, and the girl. You can see she's chasing the flag now. She's very excited. Let me see if I can get Jag here. Hope you can see. It's a little tough to see out here. Jag! Come on, Jag! Good boy. Come on. Good boy. Look at Princess. She's having a ball. Sorry, my finger's in the way. Come on, Jag! Good boy. Oh, look at Chase running around with Princess. Here we go. Here's the flag, folks. And what happens is the flag travels on this pulley. And it goes anywhere. Come on, Zorro! Good boy. There's Chase. It goes around this loop, which is approximately 3.5 acres. Look at Princess. She's 14 years old. I mean, she just never ceases to amaze me. They have over a mile in them now, just chasing this flag. Zorro has done actually up to 15 miles of chasing the flag before. Princess holds the second record. She's done like 12. Chase and Jag are not as interested. Come on, Jag! Come on, good boy. Good boy. He's interested, and there's some goats in that barn there. You can see that. And he's interested in knowing what's going on there. Chase and Jag aren't as much into this game. This is a professional game. It is a professional sport, I should say, canine sport. You can see Zorro. We've clocked him at over 25, close to 30 miles per hour. Don't know if my radar meter was right. It said 30 miles. Dogs of this breed, German Shepherds, etc., they can peak out at about 30 miles per hour. When you get into greyhounds and sighthounds that this sport was originally designed for, they can run up to 40 miles per hour. So this equipment will go about 40 miles per hour. You can see how they cool down. They get into specialty tubs that have cool water in them. Even though it's about 35 degrees here, maybe 40, they'll still choose to cool down that way. The reason being because they sweat, actually. They emit heat. They're not effective at sweating, but they actually will emit some sweat and the heat from their pads on their feet. So when they can put their pads in water, it helps dissipate some of that heat. Come on, Jag! Good boy. And you can see I called his name and he turned right around. Now he'll keep meandering over towards there, but he knows he's not. I don't mind him being near the goats. I don't even mind him mingling with them, but I want to keep him respectful of them. And that's all farm animals we come into contact with. So Zorro, as I said, is the most engaged here. Princess, just because of her age, she would be second. And Chase and Jag are like they could care less. But it's all good because if you see to the left of where Zorro just got in the tub, I have a scooter up here. If you saw me yesterday, I was riding the same kind of scooter, but a different one, which had attachments to ride the dogs on, so we could do a neighborhood run. But this scooter is for what I call free ranging, so we'll take to the field here shortly, and I'll get them a lap in. Free ranging, there goes Zorro again. Zorro's 8.5 or so, almost 9 years old. So I've had Zorro, Chase, and Jag since they were puppies. Princess, I got her when she was about 4 years old. Family couldn't take care of her anymore. And she's a little harder to tame. Come on, guys! Chase! Chase! Good boy. And what I'm doing there is I'm preventing a little confrontation with Chase and Princess because Princess has the seniority and she would technically be considered an alpha, just her dominant personality and ways that she established long before I met her. Chase and Jag and Zorro know better than to try to be the alpha in the situation, so they'll yield because of my training with them to other dogs, so there's not a confrontation. Now, sometimes they'll play really hard with each other. I mean really hard, which is excellent socialization. But at the same time, once in a while, if one of them is just not in the mood or they get grabbed the wrong way, they could have a confrontation. So you have to show them that certain behaviors are not acceptable. And that's what I specialize in, and that's how I raise them. Now, you could train almost any dog to respond and behave the way you desire, but the Husky breed is one of the hardest. They're one of the closest breeds to the wolf. They're very independent, very aloof, very prey driven. So a lot of people make the mistake and they'll take food and try to train them with that. And it's okay to do some preliminary training and some reinforcement training with food. I use hot dogs because you can cut them up into such small offerings, and they're inexpensive. The dogs like them, and for training they're not going to have a negative effect on their diet. So, and they get very excited by them. They really are motivated by them. But if you're out in the field and there's a goat there like there is now, and you say, hey, you come here and get a hot dog. Come on, guys! Chase! Good boy. And again, he's over there by Princess. And almost all my dogs will key off a Chase because he's the best hunter, or has the best senses, if you will. He's the most alert. And they'll know that something's up if he's sniffing in a certain area or he's heading over a certain area. So they'll key off of him. And they actually will pack together at times. And what I mean by that, they'll like hunt together. So we'll be at different farm areas. And during the summer, through a field, there might be tall corn growing. We're in Maryland, and we grow lots of corn here. They'll go in there and they'll flush out small animals that are taking shelter in the tall stalks of corn, and maybe even resting in there. And certain ones, like roundhogs or etc., can be, the dogs will actually, Jag, no, Jag, good boy. So I'm enforcing, see, normally the alpha dog is gonna, all the other dogs will yield to the alpha dog, which means they will get out of the alpha dog's way. They say, hey, the alpha dog has seniority, has the respect of them all, and they won't challenge them. But Princess is getting older, and they will challenge her sometimes, so I'm preventing them from challenging her, and that happens in all wolf packs or dog packs, if you will, where they'll actually, as the dogs get older, they get challenged by the younger dogs to become the new alpha. That's what they're striving for. So I'll prevent that. Now, they could work it out themselves, but I don't want them hurting each other and engaging in that kind of behavior. But of course, out in the wild, that's what happens, and that's how a dog's hierarchy is established. And wild dogs, it happens to all the time, and unfortunately, you'll see some of them really get injured. Now, they're not gonna. This breed is not super aggressive like other breeds, so you won't get that. Someone's gonna get hurt. It's not gonna be beyond that. But always want to take precaution. And Zara just jumped in the water. So we have a lull in the activity now because Jim is, see, right here, these are the pulleys. And what happens is this string rides along the pulleys, and a flag, we're calling it a flag, a piece of plastic, you can even put a toy on there, will ride it, and the dogs will chase it, especially, like I said, Zorro and Princess. Jag, Jag, good boy. See how he stopped instantly? I said that. And that's because he knows, and he doesn't want me giving him, he wears a collar and it has audio tones on it. And I've taught him the different audio tones mean come to me, mean no, etc. But when I use my voice, it's more effective, which I like better because I always have my voice on me. I don't always necessarily have the collar or the controller on them. So you teach them through that with the collar, and then they learn, Jag, no, good boy. See how he was really interested because the donkey, those are goats. Might be shaking its head. That's showing a little bit of dominance, and Jag might be like, oh no, you're not doing that to me. So he might have been interested in that, but he knows that he's not supposed to come, even if they do that. He's not supposed to mess with them. He's supposed to come to me, or at least keep a distance. Come on, Jag. Just like that. I hope you can see it. The sun is shining heavily into the camera. I'll turn this way. So right now, Jim's going over. So this machine, I'll take you over to the equipment, folks. This machine is actually made for the sport they call lure coursing. And lure coursing was originally designed for sight hounds because sight hounds hunt through their vision. They have keener vision than any other breed, where most dogs will hunt through their nose because they have real keen noses and smells. They can smell everything. These dogs, Zorro, good boy. Oh, he's catching the flag. We're telling him not to catch it. It's hard because it gets tangled up. And depending on the weather conditions, it was a little damp here. So the string will move a little slower. Sorry, that's obscene there. That's dominance with the male dogs. They'll do that to each other. And it's totally acceptable. As long as a dog doesn't look at it as in an aggressive behavior, which mine don't. They do that to play with each other. So this equipment here is what runs the Amazing Chase. Now, I've got long stories about this equipment. I've been doing this stuff for years. So I'm calling it Amazing Chase, by the way. I'm sorry I keep referring to it that way. It's actually called lure coursing. Lure coursing is a sight hound sport. Sight hounds are greyhounds and hounds that hunt through vision, having keen vision, not through smell. So when that flag travels 4 acres over the course, they can see it far away and it catches their eyes. That's how they would hunt prey. With other dogs, they don't have as keen a vision, but they do have a scent. But because the flag doesn't have a scent, they're not as engaged usually. So this sport was designed for sight hounds over in Europe, I believe. And it's become a pretty popular sport amongst sight hounds, but it's kind of like not many people know about it. I didn't know about it. But when I started looking for Zorro, when I started looking for activities that the dogs might like to do, years ago, I'm always looking for stuff that might engage them, new stuff that's fun, that'll help them use their instincts. Because if a dog can use its instincts you can easier train them, and they'll more readily exercise and get their wildest. Now, Princess won't get in the tub because it's a little high for her. She will as she warms up her joints and starts moving, but because of her arthritis, because of her age, that'll preclude her from stepping, even though it's really not a high step. And sometimes we'll put a step there for her, but she doesn't need to get in there right now. Chase! And I'm just telling them, keep their distance. See, now they're getting bored because the equipment's not running. And even though Chase and Zorro aren't as engaged in this equipment usually, and we got it running, I think. There we go. So, this sport, lure coursing, it's a shame because there's a lot of dogs that can still see it, not as keen as a sight hound, but they can still see the flag, so they'll still chase it. So it's a shame they don't get more involved, and what I'm trying to do is get the dogs more involved. There are plenty of breeds that would enjoy this, and actually, from what I understand, they opened a place up in South Carolina a few years back where they actually have mini lure coursing fields where you can take your dog and let them do a few laps for $5 or $10 a nominal fee, whatever it may be. And usually that's enough to tire out most breeds, but we're talking Huskies here, so they can run all day. So this is good for sprinting and good for psychological engagement because they're instinctually chasing prey. That's part of their instincts and their traits. So this essentially gives them that opportunity. And the ones that will engage it, like Princess and Zorro, really get a lot out of it. I mean, it's intense. If you go on Flickr and you go on a Wolf Driver, you'll see, here comes Princess. Now, can you see her? I'm trying to, yes. Look at this. She's running. There she goes. Okay, so she just went for the flag. She usually lets it go by her. Zorro will try to grab it. Now, the real sport of lure coursing, the dog's not supposed to grab the flag. That would be really, now Jim's playing with her. He's playing like cat and mouse. He's going back and forth and back and forth. And that just keeps her more engaged because when she sees it move one way and then the other, she thinks it's living. Zorro's down the other end of the course. He thinks it's down there. Again, if they were sight hounds, they would know exactly where it is. It's got no scent, so they can't tell by that. Chase and Jag will start playing with each other. They'll start chasing each other. Sorry, I'm trying to make the camera move out. You got a lot of sun here. I apologize if that's blocking the vision. Now you see a house in the background. This is a pasture that I actually rent to do this. I mean, kind of like a full-time permanent rent. So I keep all my equipment here and everything. But I'm trying to make the screen get smaller. but it doesn't want to cooperate. There's Princess. There's Zara going across the field. And there's Chase. So you see there's a couple houses here, and they belong to the people that own this property. And there's a big farm field that we're going to take a lap on in a little while. Now Princess, she'll yell at the flag. She's like, hey, why are you going up there? Look at Zara. Look at Princess. Sorry about the there we go. Sorry about the sun. It's right in my face. Look at Zorro. You see that? Yep. Again, I've clocked him at about 30 miles per hour. And yeah, here comes Princess. I mean, it's just, you would never think that these dogs would just chase a flag round and round. There's Chase. And they're sniffing. The dogs that don't engage with this, it's still an outing for them. And you'll see how I get their exercise in with the scooter, which I talked about. Usually, I'll take them for a lap when the equipment fails, because at some point the equipment will inevitably overheat. It's kind of cold out here today, but even in below freezing, it overheats. That might have happened now. Oh, good. No, it didn't. Look at that. He'll just keep on going, like the Energizer Bunny. And Jack's just enjoying himself. He knows, hey, I can't go near those goats, or at least I can't mingle with them the way I'd like to. So he's being a perfect gentleman. Chase is always seeing what he can get involved in. And he'll usually, when the machine stops, for whatever reason, a breakdown, or Jim stops it to take a breather, take his finger off the trigger, Chase will try to chase. Chase will try to chase and play with Zorro, the Princess. And I'll give you a mileage reading on her in a little while. I mean, I try to get her anywhere from 5 to 10 miles out here chasing this thing. Here comes Zorro really hard. She's chasing it. Look at him. He's digging. And she's coming as fast as she can. And she's probably, just because you're not out here, she's probably moving 5, 6 miles per hour. But remember, she's 14 years old. That's pretty good for her. So, and again, this course is around 4.5 acres. If you've got any questions, I don't know. I don't seem to be able to see that, but I'm going to try to look here. On the other phone, if I can. I'm sorry I didn't do this earlier. Let's see if I can take any comments, questions, anything. I don't see any. So folks, please bombard me with questions. I love answering them, and I love talking about this stuff and giving people ideas of what they can do. Let me get on. What's up, Jimmy? Motor change? Okay, so I wish I had a way to take you with me. And you can see the dominance of each other. Princess still running around, enjoying herself. That really excites me the most, just getting the dogs, letting them air it out, get their energy out of them, and enjoying everything here. I'm getting a little ghosting on the phone. I'm seeing if you're getting that in the display. Princess is waiting for the flag to come around. I showed you that Chase was dominating Zorro a little bit by piggybacking on him, to put it nicely. And Jim's just yelling at Zorro. So Zorro grabbed the flag, and we're trying to prevent that. It's stopped up somewhere in it, bud. He took it off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Jim film if I can. Actually, I've got a... That's those two. It's just a form of dominance. I'm going to take you with me for a second, folks. And this might be a little clumsy. I'm apologizing ahead, but I'm going to try to get a holster I have that I brought with me so I can show you how we take a ride. And I know this is going to shake a little bit. Jim, I'll get you to put the battery on when you get done. So what we're going to do is take a ride on the scooter. And I'll show you how we free range. Come on, guys. Princess. No. Princess. Good girl. Come on. Princess. Good girl. Jag. Good girl. Good boy. Come on, guys. Good boy. Come on. Good boy. See? That's the way it should be. taking them from a distraction, especially something living like that, is really hard. You can see they're still interested, but that's a safe distance. I don't mind that. And when I say a safe distance, this is all safe. Again, the goats are behind the pen there, but at some point we might want to interact a little more with them. So I want to let the dogs know they need to show respect. The goats are more their size, more than, say, those are the bigger tubs we use in the summer sometimes, and we can recess them into the ground so the dogs can even cool down further. But the best is for the dogs to actually get into the tub and be able to get into their chest area, because that's where their internal organs lie. You see Jack still staring at him. Zara's messing with Jim because Zara's picking up the flag. That's what he does. Chase. So it's good, the patience sometimes needed to do, that the dogs need to have while we're changing out. But I'm going to give you a quick mileage reading, folks. Mileage-wise, Princess has got about 2.5 miles. I'm just chasing that flag. I never understand it. I mean, I understand it, but it's just fascinating to me. Let's see if we've got Zorro, because he's always... Zara's got 4.25 miles, folks. Zara! And Jim's just letting Zara know, don't bite his flag, because what happens is when the dog's pulling the flag, as I told you in the past, they're not supposed to bite the flag in the real sport of this. There's no rules here. It's husky lore coursing. Good luck trying to give them a rule like that. And I could work with them to not bite the flag. It's really only Zara, but I want them to have fun. I mean, if they don't have fun, what's the purpose of this? We can't keep it too sterilized. Come on, Princess. Just don't want. She'll walk up there, be bored, and go over. And it's okay to see the goats, but keeping the scent out here of the goats and them knowing they're there for the first time that we're mingling so close, this is a better distance that I prefer to keep them at right now. So next time we come here, if the goats are here, which they probably will be, because it's my understanding they're a recent addition here, at that point, it will be easier. They'll have known they're there. They'll understand the rules with them a little better, and it'll be easier and better to let them get a little closer and start mingling them a little more. So this string, by the way, if you can see the string, will break sometimes. Now, the trick with the string is you don't want to use, I mean, you could use a rope. The problem with that is it would be too heavy going through those pulleys. In addition, if the dogs do trip over it or do bite at it, you don't want it to hurt them. So you want to make it heavy enough that it's going to stay intact for the most part, but light gauge enough or flexible enough that it will yield or give to the dogs in case they do get caught in it, which they do occasionally. Actually, usually I've had their fur get caught in it, and the fur, there's nothing it can damage. It doesn't even tear it out. Their fur is so thick. What happens is they'll stop, and I'll yell at them, or as calmly as I can. I usually do have to yell across the field, though, to remain calm till I get there and I can get it out of them, which only takes a second. We can cut the rope at any time and it'll release, but usually it's a minor infringement. They've never, ever been hurt by the rope here, the string, I should say, because it's not as thick as rope. Now, the way Princess kicked her leg up there, she stepped on something, it looked like. So I have dogs sometimes that'll step on thorns, depending where you're at, and they'll act a little funny, and you'll wonder why. And it's usually just something caught in their pad. Usually nothing that's going to hurt them, but it's uncomfortable. I've had thorns, I've had hitchhikers actually get caught between them, and usually you pull it out, doesn't pierce them, there's no blood or anything, and it'll actually they're ready to go right away. But, you know, there can be glass, not in this area, but some areas we run. So you always want to be cognizant of that. Usually the glass usually nothing will impede their pads unless they're really digging, if they're really pulling hard. So when we go through areas that might be subject to that, I'll usually won't let them pull. So I'll usually use the motor on the equipment we're on to get a little more speed, so I stay ahead of them, and they're trying to keep up with me. Therefore, they're not digging, because it's when they're digging, when their claws are trying to grab in the ground, and they're actually trying to dig. Hi, good girl. Hi, good girl. Whenever the dogs come up to me during any of these activities, I always praise them, because I want them to know that I'm the safe zone. If you ever come to me, nothing will ever happen to you. But if you're out there doing the wrong thing, and you'll hear me tell you N-O, I don't even want to say that now because they're doing so good, or anything else, it's unacceptable. It could be unacceptable behavior, but when you're with me, it's always acceptable behavior. So, on the other side, Jim, what Jim's doing is he's actually getting the battery to the scooter there, and he's going to put that on so we can take a ride in the field and we can add to the dog's mileage. And it gives them a break, especially Zorro and Princess that are so intense on this. It'll actually give them a break. Getting off of that. Now, Princess knows. I mean, she is... Princess, we've worked out, if you followed us this week, this is our 4th outing. We free ranged a farm where we did about 6 miles, dogs off leash. We went to a fur wheeling or dog powered go-karting run, I like to call it, where were we at? We were at a new trail, which didn't go as good as planned, but we still got a few miles in there. And even with the travel and everything, it's a workout for the dogs, even though there wasn't as much mileage. Did it go on, Jim?
Not yet, George.
Okay. Okay. That should be easier to put on because Chris adjusted it. It went on my other scooter yesterday. Great. Yep. So the battery, this is all, for the most part, custom made or custom modified equipment. So all of this stuff, and some of it has some age on it, and we keep it in pretty good shape. But because of the different iterations we have to go through, sometimes it's a little challenging to get it in the right position. Yep, you got it. Here you go, buddy. You got it.
I'll turn it around for you.
I can do it all.
Okay,
I just want you to hold the phone.
All right.
If you don't mind, keep it shining at me.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have to stand back a little bit. So what I'm doing now, folks, I'm going to put this specialized harness on, if I can get it on, so I can wear the camera and take you with me. Wear the phone, I should say. And this is kind of off the cuff. I didn't plan to broadcast like this today, but I'm doing it. Oop. And making sure everything's staying intact here. So in a second, you're going to be with me from the chest, and I'm going to point out. So again, you're not going to see me. And I'll take that from you now, Jim. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be on that scooter, and you're going to see how we run the fields. There's Chase. And Zorro. He's dominating him again. That's what they do. Sorry, it's going to be... Now hopefully you can see what we're going to do here. Okay, so I'm stepping on the scooter, folks. Let me just see what this looks like on the screen, if you don't mind. Okay. You can see Princess is ready to go. She is so hyped up right now. It's awesome. Okay, folks. Trying to see if I got the camera the right way. I'm going to give it a second for it to catch up. Come on, guys. Come on. Okay, this is so cool. Come on, guys. Now we'll get Jack almost out of this. Oh, I hope you can broadcast this. That's so cool. Sorry, this is a little crazy. Stay. Stay. Now, even for this, stay. Stay. Notice how Princess went first. If sometimes when they're left to their own, hey, to their own senses, that doesn't always work like that, and there can be confrontation. Territory. That's what it's called. I hope you can see, folks. This is just a quick ride we do. Yep, looks pretty good. It's a little shaky. Dogs are off leash. This is a totally unfenced in area here. We're free ranging. And I know it's a little crooked. I apologize. That was Princess cutting me off. I'm going to try to straighten it out. So I'm on this scooter that you were just seeing. There could be animals. There's coyotes up here. There's all kinds of animals. Come on, guys. This will give them roughly 3/4 of a mile loop, believe it or not. And it gives the dogs that aren't... Zara, no. Dogs that aren't as interested. Come on, Zara. A way to get some exercise. And it gives... Come on, Zara, no. Actually, I thought he saw a coyote. There might be. I'm looking. Let's see it now. Come on, Princess. She's behind me. And we're gonna zoom it a little bit because Zara's hightailing it. We're halfway through this 3/4 of a mile. Can you believe it? I mean, it's just, these dogs are flying. This scooter will go about 20 miles per hour. And Zara's about a 5 mile per hour ahead of me. I mean, that's the kind of speed they show. Now, he's really looking down to the right of me. I'm just making sure nothing's following us. Stay, guys. Stay, guys. Jag. Good boy. Come on, Jag. Good girl, Princess. Come on, guys. Good boys. Boys. Now, this is a driveway. It's a private drive. But I want to make sure. And see Princess? She just did a bathroom stop. Sometimes a UPS man might be riding up here. Again, I do not own this land. I rent this. So I'm going to get up here. Dogs are getting ahead of me, and we're not going that way. Sometimes we do. Come on, guys. Here. Here. Notice how when I said here, that's the word. Jag. Jag. No. Jag. Jag. Here. Good boy. Notice how when I say that word, he knows. Okay. And look at Princess running. Hope you can see this. Come on, guys. Come on, pretty. And we just got about 1/4 of the run left. A little cold out here, folks, for me. I don't have gloves on because I knew I'd be running a camera, and the gloves just inhibit me from doing what I want to do, so fingers are a little cold. It's actually a really crisp day for the dogs, really good for them. And for us humans, it's refreshing. You can see the dogs, they know the way, right in through the gate. And they're ready. No, good boy. And here comes my girl, the pretty Princess. Hope you can see it all. I'll be able to steer the phone better, folks, once we get in there and I can take it off. But I needed 2 hands to drive this thing, especially because one of them's frozen. And here comes Princess. Jim, great job fencing that up. Come on, good boy. So I pull this in, and you notice we have a fence here too. This enables me. The dogs won't leave this area because we have holes in this fence because they know. Jag! Jag! They know that we stay in this area. We've been doing it for a while. I'm here with them. But the barriers just help reinforce that. Good boys. Look at oh, how cool is that? And I do say good boys, even though one of them's a girl. Come on, guys. She's kind of one of the guys when we're doing this. Come on, let's go. Check. Come on, good boy. Come on. Check. Good boy. Good girl, Princess. Princess was already ahead. She knew the story. She knows the program. She wants to get back to that flag being chased.
Whoa, hey.
He goes right to it, Joe. Did he? Okay, I'm going to take this off in 1 second, folks. I'll be right with you. Okay, we're back at it. Apologize for if that was a bumpy ride. Here comes Jag. But I'll give you a mileage reading real quick. My big fingers are getting in there now. Okay. Here we go.
Come on, Zorro. Come on. Whoa, hey.
Zorro! We're trying to keep him off so we can get it started. Beautiful. And just to let you know, Zorro's over 5 miles now, folks. Jag, who's not doing anything, is over 1.5 miles, which is good. I like to get him 3 miles in when I can. Princess is over 3. I mean, how cool is that? She's barking at it. There she goes. She's chasing it. There she goes. There they go. Into the sunset. Jag watching on. Jag. Lazy bones Jag. Chase says, I'm going to take a drink, Dad. So you've been through us, how we do it. So I was trying to catch that flag. He wants to catch it. Princess doesn't know where it is. She got lost on it. And it is right here. There she goes. She picked up because she's following Zorro. There's the flag, folks. Boom. There's the Z-Man. And here comes the pretty princess. Right behind. Look at her go. Good girl.
Came off, Phil.
Get it? Okay, buddy. We're having a little bit of a tough time up here keeping the equipment running right. The important thing is the dogs are running right. And, you know, I call everything what I do. I always say that's wolf driving. Whenever we have a situation that's not working the way we want it to. The reason I say that is because you just got to step back from the situation a little bit, realize it's not the worst thing in the world. We can fix it. Even when we travel far away somewhere and the bike doesn't work and we can't exactly get going. There's Chase. That's obscene. He's just dominating. Chase! Chase! Good boy. And Zorro's so good. Zorro's about the same height as Chase, but he's got about 25, 30 pounds on him. He's got Malamute in him, so he's got a big head and a big body. He's thick. Good boy, Chase. Good boy. And Chase, sometimes a dog will look at you. They're just looking for approval, like, okay, Dad or Mom, is that what I should be doing? Is that what you want? Especially because I said his name kind of abruptly, which is the way I'm usually giving them a command. So he wants to know, is that what you wanted me to do? And so that's why I do it that way. Good boy, Zorro. And again, Jim's trying to keep Zorro away from the flag because if he's at the flag, he might grab it. And it's a new flag we just put on there, so you'll be able to see it better. On the screen, it will show up better. And here we go again. And Princess is not stopping. This is what keeps her ticking, really. It's just the ability for her to get out and exercise. Otherwise, here comes Chase. Hi, good boy. Hi, good boy. Remember what I said. Whenever a dog comes near you, always a good boy. Always good. Whoa. Having a tough time out here, folks. Just with the equipment again. Dogs are all doing good. So, if you have any questions, let me see if I can punch them up.
Hey, 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 hey!
Zorro! Good boy. Let me see if we got any questions here, folks. Is there any questions you might have? It looks like we got any. Come on, good boys. Look at her, Princess. Not even taking a break. How awesome is that? Okay, folks, I'm going to wrap it up here. I might come back to you soon. This is the Wolf Driver. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Have a great day. Wolf Driver signing off.